Welcome back to Simbright Fashion Academy YouTube channel for another interesting tutorial. In this tutorial, I'll be teaching you how to sew this beautiful drawstring top you are seeing right here with a tight waist. So you can see this beautiful trendy drawstring top. You can see it in another style with different color. You can see it on a lace fabric. You can use any fabric of your choice to recreate this beautiful top. So I'll be teaching you the tips and tricks to sewing this beautiful top the way it is right there in all the dresses. So right here you can see what I came out with. I actually used the chiffon fabric for mine. You can use a crepe fabric. So here you can see the tight waisted area. You can see the ruched part of with the drawstring. The back is actually very free and it has a tight waist. And if you look at the neckline, you can see I have a straight neckline for this dress. So if this is what you want to learn in this class, I will encourage you to stay till the end of this tutorial to learn the tips and tricks to making this dress. So I use the chiffon fabric. So my chiffon fabric, I'm using 3 yards. So to get this exact length, I'll be making use of 3 yards of chiffon fabric. So you can use crepe fabric, you can use Duchess, you can use any fabric of your choice for this tutorial. So from here to the other end is my 3 yards. So I'm bringing my 3 yards together. So if I bring it together, it will actually give me a length of 54 inches. If I place it, my 3 yards on fold. Then I'm going to pick up the other folded edge and I'm going to make it meet the open end. So here you can see I've placed it the way I want to cut. So I'm going to create a borderline of 1 inch. On the folded edge, just go ahead and create 1 inch border line. So this 1 inch border line, I'm going to use my straight through to mark it out. So your border line has to be 1 inch. 1 inch. So this will be my starting line right now. So I will rule that 1 inch all the way to the other side of the fabric. So the first thing we are going to take is our neck width. So the neck is a straight line, is a straight neckline. So it has no depth or whatever, it's just only the width. So I'm using 5 inches. You can also use 6 inches for the width of your neckline. For the sleeve length, I'll place my tape on the center front, center back, and I'm taking the whole fabric as my sleeve length from the center front. So there I have 28 inches. Then from that 1 inch border line, I'm going to come down by 1.5 inches. This is for my shoulder slant. So I'll connect that 1.5 inches. I'll take it all the way to that 5 inches neck width I used. So I'll just connect it. That is my shoulder slant. So the next thing we are going to do now, we are going to mark our seam allowances on the shoulder slant. So from that shoulder slant, I'm going to mark 1 inch. My seam allowance is 1 inch because of the neckline. Because we are going to fold the neckline, and since it's a straight neckline, we will just fold it. Of course, you see how to go about it. So just mark 1 inch, as you can see me mark right there. So it's going to terminate at that 5 inches neck width. So I will rule a straight line of my seam allowance, which I marked at 1 inch. So I'm just trying to arrange this fabric because the fabric wobbles a lot. So I will keep marking the 1 inch following the shoulder slant. Now this is my seam allowance. I'll just proceed to cutting it out so the lines does not confuse us. So I'm just cutting on the seam allowance of 1 inch, as you can see. So once I get to that 5 inches, I'll just stop because that is the end of the 1 inch. So the next thing I'll do is to open up the folded edge of the neckline. So we are going to tuck it in when finishing the neckline. So don't forget to make a notch at that neckline. The neckline width is 5 inches. Make a notch to it. After that, the next we are going to take from the shoulder, we are going to take I'm going to mark my waistline. So my waistline is 17, but I'll count 2 inches up. Okay, I'm going to mark this as 15 inches. Just count 2 inches above your waistline to mark this line. So on this line, I'm going to mark 5 inches because that drawstring is on the side. So just mark 5 inches. I'm not using my nipple to nipple measurement for this because is the drawstring, if you look very well, is by the side. So 5 inches is okay. So I'll just go ahead and mark 5 inches, 5 inches on the center front, center back. I'm marking 5 inches. I'll mark it from that line to the hem line. So after marking, I'm going to connect the lines. You connect the lines with a straight line. So after connecting the lines with a straight line, the next we are going to mark is waist circumference divided by 4 for the inner belt. So my waist circumference divided by 4, I have 9.5 inches. So I'll just mark it for the inner belt. Then I'm going to use my pin right now to indicate the other side of where the belt will be, the belt position. So you use your pin and pass through it and create a mark for the other belt position. Please, I want you to note that I'm marking on the wrong side of the fabric. If you want your drawstring to be on the other side, on the right side where mine is, please mark on the back side of the wrong side of your fabric. So here I'm marking the sleeve opening. I marked 7 inches from the shoulder slant and create a notch. That is for my sleeve opening. So from the shoulder slant, I took 7 inches. So now I'm going to close the side of the dress. But before we do that, please separate the front and back dress. So we'll finish up the front piece and then work on the back piece. So make sure you open up the remaining part of the folded edge of the shoulder piece. So now I'm going to separate the front and back so we'll be able to create the drawstring and again sew the belt for the front piece. So to create that drawstring, we are going to take the measurement of what we have from that line all the way down. So whatever you get there will be the length of the drawstring. So we use it to draw the string. So the width of my fabric is 2.5 inches and the length is the measurement I took from that point. So I'll just fold in half an inch on both sides and also fold half an inch on the upper side too. I will just do that right now. But before you sew the drawstring, the down part of this front dress has to be hemmed. So you just go to your machine and hem the down piece before sewing the drawstring. So my drawstring is ready right now. You can see how I folded it inside and stitched on it. So after hemming the dress, the next thing I did is to place this casing for the drawstring. I'll place it from that line we marked. Then I'm going to secure with my pins. So I'm securing with my pins horizontally. So the pins will be there while I stitch. So make sure you're secure with your pin so you'll be able to sew the casing right on that line on a straight line. Especially when working with fabric that wobbles like chiffon, crepe, duchess, you need to secure with your pin. So here I'm going to pin to the end, okay, to the part I hemmed, which is the down part of this fabric. So after pinning this dress right now, make sure you pin appropriately, okay, or else it's going to give you some difficulty while stitching. So I took my time to make sure I secure with my pins very well before stitching. So after pinning, I'll go over to the machine right now. I'm going to sew following the lines, okay. I follow the lines I created on the casing and I'm going to stitch all the way from that point to the end. So I will stitch on the other side as well. So I'm done stitching. So the next is to stitch in between, because we have 2 drawstring casings, or we have 2 drawstring for it. So I'll just go ahead and stitch in between all the way down. So after stitching, this is what I got. We are going to pass our rope right now. So I've already prepared my rope, and with my safety pin, I'll start from the down part of this fabric, and I'll go ahead to pass it inwards. I'll pass it all the way until I get to this point. So after getting to the other point, I'll also pass it to this other point. But don't forget to knot the down piece so the string or the rope does not slip inside. So this is me knotting that part to secure it. So now I continued passing it. I first of all knot that part so it doesn't go out while passing through the other side. So I will go ahead and pass all the way to the other end as well. Now I'm done, and this is what I got. So I took off my safety pin and also knot that part again. Now I'm done. So you can now ruche the drawstring the way you want it. So I'm just arranging it the way I want it. Then you can now tie the bow. So the front dress is ready. Next is to sew the belt on the belt piece. So I've already prepared my belt. So your belt length can be as long as you want. You can use your waist circumference divide by 2 for one of your belts. So I'm going to stitch the way you see me position the belt. So after stitching, I'm going to tie the belt right inside. When I wear the dress, I will tie it to my waist. Now we are going to place the right side to the wrong side, the right side of the back and the right side of the front, right side to right side. Make sure you secure with your pins on the neckline notch. So you can see the neckline notch that we notched when we were cutting this fabric. So I'll just go ahead and notch that neckline piece, and I will notch the other parts. So we'll go over to the machine to stitch. I'm stitching at 1 inch. Remember our seam allowance was 1 inch. So this is the opening of the neck. So at the end of the day, you see how we finish it up. Next is to go over to sew 1 inch all the way down, 1 inch all the other way down. So after sewing, this is what I got. I hemmed a little, just a little, because now I'm going to open up this dress, give it a good press, open up the seams. You can see the neckline. Then I'll use my hemming glue or my hemming gum. I'll place below it so I have a very neat finishing. I'm going to use my iron right now, and I'll go ahead and hem it appropriately and open up the seams. So this is what I got after I'm done. You can see how neat and beautiful that neckline is looking. So you can go ahead and weave the rest of your seam lines. The next is to put the dress together and close up the side. So you can see the notch I made for the sleeve. The notch is 7 inches. So I will sew 1 inch down. After sewing 1 inch, the sleeve I'm going to hem it. I'll put in half an inch and another half an inch and run a stitch to it. So you can see what I have right now. So I'm done with the sleeve and the dress is ready right now. So this is how we come to the end of this tutorial, and I believe this class was helpful to you. So if you are new to this channel, please kindly subscribe, turn on your notification bell to receive videos like this every day. Like this video, share to family and friends, drop your comment on the comment section and your suggestions as well. Thank you once again, and see you in the next class. Bye.